Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the future of creativity, all through the lens of Ro Daewon's The Novel Writing Robot. And we're going to tackle a question that honestly feels more urgent every single day. Just a few years back, this would have sounded like something straight out of science fiction, right? But now, with tools like ChatGPT spitting out poems and scripts and entire stories, well, this question isn't theoretical anymore. It's here. The debate around this is getting pretty intense, and it's captured perfectly by these two kind of contradictory ideas from the brilliant sci-fi writer Ted Chiang. On the one hand, he calls AI a blurry JPG of the web, basically a flawed copy of stuff we've already created. But then he also says it could be a forklift for the imagination, a tool that helps us do the heavy creative lifting. So, which is it? Is it just a cheap copy? Or is it a serious power-up for our minds? But here's the thing. While all this tech feels so brand new, our mix of excitement and, let's be real, anxiety about creative machines, it's not new at all. Turns out we've been dreaming about this for a long, long time. Just look at this. All the way back in 1845, people were marveling at a machine that could write Latin poetry. Then in the 1930s, we get the plot robot. And then, boom, 2022 happens, and generative AI just explodes into the mainstream. So this conversation we're having, it's really just the latest and maybe the most powerful chapter in a very old story. So what makes this chapter so different? Well, to really get a handle on where we might be going with AI, we have to look at the one place that's always served as a lab for our future: science fiction. Think about it. Science fiction is our playground for huge what-if questions. It gives us a safe space to run these massive thought experiments, to explore the biggest, most complicated ideas about technology and humanity without, actually risking the whole planet. And that exploration leads us straight to this really important idea called posthumanism. It's basically a way of thinking that pokes holes in our old-school definition of human. It asks the tough questions, like, in an age of AI and gene editing, where exactly is the line between human and machine, and what comes after what we currently think of as human? Now, there's a part of this that goes from just asking questions to actively trying to find answers. It's a movement called transhumanism. And the whole idea is to use technology to upgrade us, to overcome the biological bugs in our system, like disease and aging. This quote from Jung Serang's sci-fi novel 1/11 just nails this idea perfectly. The characters basically see the body as clunky, faulty hardware that's holding back the real prize: the pure software of the mind. And the novel itself shows this transhumanist impulse in action. You've got this team of geniuses using everything in their high-tech toolbox: cybernetics, gene therapy, even uploading a mind, all to save a dying friend. It's a really powerful look at the hope, the desperation, and the thorny ethics of trying to engineer our way past our own mortality. Okay, but all this talk about mind uploading and high-tech bodies, it brings up a crucial question. When we're picturing these futures, whose future are we actually talking about? And maybe even more important, who gets to be the architect of that vision? Because for a very long time, let's be honest, the answer to that question has been a pretty small, pretty exclusive group. And that's left some huge blind spots in how we collectively picture what's next. One of those huge blind spots has a name: techno-orientalism. You've definitely seen this before. Think about a movie like Blade Runner. Asia is often the backdrop, right? It's hyper-advanced, full of tech, but also kind of soulless and dystopian, all while a Western hero has their adventure. It's a vision of the future that still frames non-Western cultures as the exotic other. But that's changing, and it's changing in a big way. All around the world, a powerful counter-movement is happening. Artists and writers are creating what you could call alternative futurisms, reclaiming their right to imagine the future from their own unique cultural viewpoints. The most famous example, of course, is Afrofuturism. A movie like Black Panther isn't just cool sci-fi with Black characters. It's about building a vision of the future that is fundamentally rooted in Black history and African aesthetics and identity. And that kind of reimagining is happening everywhere, creating a way richer, more interesting, and more diverse vision of all our possible tomorrows.
Okay, so let's bring this all back home, back to our novel writing robot. We've looked at the history, the philosophy, the politics. So after all that, where does it leave the actual human artist? Right here, right now.
Well, it leads us to this really powerful idea that maybe the future isn't a battle of humans versus machines. Maybe it's about co-creativity, a whole new kind of partnership where AI isn't our replacement, but our collaborator. So what does that actually look like? Well, you can think of it in 3 steps. First, the human is the director. You provide the big idea, the vision, the purpose. Then, step 2, the AI comes in as this incredible brainstorming partner, generating tons of ideas and drafts. And then, finally, step 3, the human comes back in as the artist, the editor, the one who curates all that raw material and shapes it into something with real meaning. And this is where it gets really, really exciting. This kind of partnership could literally invent whole new kinds of literature. I mean, imagine an adaptive horror story that changes based on your actual heart rate, where an AI helping you write a personalized memoir based on your digital life. The possibilities are just absolutely mind-bending.
So, in the end, yeah, the robot can write. But that was never really the most important question, was it? The real question, the one that's always mattered, is what stories will we choose to tell with these incredible new tools? The technology is here, but the future of our stories, well, that's still up to us.